All righty, right. It worked. It worked this time. Last week it didn't work for me. I tried to go live and it would not go live for me. So we should be broadcasting here to several areas and groups and whatnot. But today I'm here to answer questions again. It is Wednesday, 2 p.m. Uh, and 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. And we're going to be doing this pretty much most Wednesdays. Next Wednesday, I'll be on the other side of the country, so I won't be able to do a live then. But I am excited to be here again today. The I'll talk a lot about what we have going on. So we have another Flip Talk Virtual Summit, another Flip Talk Virtual Summit. Go to fliptalkvirtualsummit.com, and that is going to be December 3rd through 5th. And if any of you have been on for the last one, we definitely brought the heat in the last one. We're definitely bringing the heat in this one. This one's geared more towards people who are already doing the business, not so much for newbies, but people who are already doing the business, already doing deals, and looking to add value to what they're doing, looking to get ready and prepare and have a plan for 2021 to get themselves ready for what's going to be happening, the chaos in the market, the disorganization in the market, the foreclosures and all that kind of stuff like that. So that's what that is, and it's going to be really really cool 3 days of really just intense information about building a real business and capitalizing and systems and processes. So fliptalkvirtualsummit.com if you are interested in being part of that event, which I would think is foolish not to, because we're talking about December, like literally getting you ready to launch pad in the 2021, everything that we've done. We made a lot of changes in our business over the last 8 months or so, a lot of organizational changes in our business, marketing changes, process changes. We've gone virtual in some aspects of it to prepare. What's up, Matt? How's it going? We've just done a lot to prepare for, moving forward into 2021 and getting our businesses positioned, data and systems and processes, and so on and so forth. So we're going to be sharing a lot of that at the Flip Talk Virtual Summit, December 3rd through 5th. Make sure that you're a part of that again. And that is at fliptalkvirtualsummit.com. So check it out. Okay. What's up, Chris, buddy? Chris Bounds in the house. Matt Smith is in the house. I got a Facebook user. Unfortunately, Facebook doesn't let me see in some groups who Facebook user is. So say your name. Let me know who you are. Trevor, what's up, buddy? You made it. So, and then we got Michael here. Michael, what exactly is hard money lending and how is it different from bank lending? Mike, hard money lending, that is hard money lender is basically somebody that just takes the asset. I mean, in a nutshell, they specialize in lending on properties that are investor driven properties, or properties where people are not credit worthy to buy something. I don't want to say they just lend to investors, but the idea behind that is that they're designed to be asset driven and not necessarily credit score driven, or even not necessarily income driven. So that's how they differentiate from banks. They usually take a large down payment. They charge a lot of interest, but you can get things done that you can't usually get done. So Facebook user here, you did make it, buddy, Trevor. And yeah, what's up, Chris? All right, Chris. So a couple of our already members here on the call as well. Love having you guys here. If you guys have questions, hit me with them. How do you guys how do you feel about the coaching calls? So maybe you throw a little comment in here about what we're doing on the coaching calls and the momentum we're starting to get in the Ready Build Scale program here for you guys. So love some feedback on that. So yeah, so anyway, we've made a lot of changes in our organization, and I want to answer as many questions as I can, so throw those out. Let's see here. Chris Bounds, how should long-term landlord buyers hedge against short-term unknowns like eviction moratoriums and job market uncertainty? Chris, that is a fantastic question. Fantastic question. As far as, and that's, that really comes down to, preparation and running a real business, right? I think that when it comes to the situation a lot of landlords are in now, a lot of us make the mistake of running our businesses without operational reserves, and just running a real business. And a lot of people found themselves in a situation that's very unfair because, honesty, when the government is forcing landlords into a situation where they can't evict people, but not subsidizing those landlords, not, the landlord's not getting rent. The landlord still has bills to pay. And where's the help for the landlord, right? I mean, it's a very, very unfair situation to be in. You know, I don't know if I have any real solid advice on how to hedge against it other than make sure that you're just being smart about your operational reserves. 'Cause at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to save you is money in the bank, unfortunately. If this drags out any longer than it needs to. And just being smart about what you're doing capital wise, obviously if there's an opportunity to get somebody out that's not paying, take that opportunity. And I don't want to sound insensitive there. I've learned the hard way that when I stick my neck out for people, they're usually the first ones to try to cut it off. And so a lot of landlords, I think, also make the mistake of um, giving people too much rope, right? Way too much rope. And unfortunately, um, that's that can come back to bite you, we want to help people. We want to serve people. I mean, we're not, I don't think any of us are these money hungry ogres that people try to make us out to be. Unfortunately, um, there are people that will still treat us like that's who we are and try to hang us out to dry. So, you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of your family. You got to take care of your business. Make sure that you're shored up financially. Make sure that you're not giving somebody any more rope than they need to have. We all have to be responsible for our own problems at the end of the day, and if somebody is, unfortunately, a lot of people are getting money and still not paying their rent, then landlords, you gotta act and go in accordance with good business, and that's just the way I see it. So, um, but as far as anything else, and unfortunately, I'm trying to figure these things out along with the rest of you. So, Trevor says he loves the coaching calls. Appreciate that, buddy. Let's see, we got a Facebook user here. Uh, the homeowners that don't live at the house wait, yo, Don, the homeowners that don't live at the house and have renters, do I go to the house the homeowner currently lives in? Yes. Okay, I got it. Perfect. If you're talking to trying to track down a homeowner that doesn't live in the house and has renters, so a landlord, you want to try to attack them where they live. So you can always go and talk to the renter and say, I'm trying to get a hold of the landlord. Can you have him give me a call? That's definitely something that I've done in the past, but I always try to get their phone number and you'd call them or mail them or go to their door. So yes, you want to go directly to them, but it doesn't hurt to let the landlord know to pass your information on. Um, so yeah, let's see here. It'll be me for the Facebook user. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, perfect. And Angel, I appreciate that. And let's see what we got here. What made you decide to get into real estate to begin with? I That's a good question. I'm an entrepreneur. Like some people get into real estate by accident. Some people get into real estate because they're good at their job and they just want extra income. I'm an entrepreneur. I can't be confined to a clock. And I don't like to be told what to do. I just don't. If you know my personality type, I challenge everything. And I don't like to be told what to do. And I'm just not a very good employee. um, in any way, shape, or form. I'm not probably good at a lot of things, but what I am good at is identifying deals and making things happen and being creative and working through and solving problems. And so I was looking for my place to land as an entrepreneur, and real estate, honestly, was my widget. It was just where I landed. It was something that fit. It was for my short attention span. It's something I can get in and get out of. I was good at. I'm good at talking to sellers. I'm good at making things happen. I'm good at momentum, and being creative and all that kind of stuff. So it just fit in all that. Rehabbing, being able to turn something ugly into something new, and it being a project that I'm only in for a few months, and then I get to move on to something new. All that kind of stuff just fit for me, and I got to serve people, and it allowed me to make a lot of money very easily. And it didn't take any money to get into. I think that's the ultimate, it didn't take any money in any way, shape, or form to get into. Everybody knows my story. The second time around, I had $1 million judgment against me, and I had to restart with no credit and no money. And I was able to do that. I didn't have to build a factory or make molds for a widget. I was just able to create money out of thin air, basically. And so that's one of the reasons I got into it. So Let's see here. What's up? What's up, Don? What's up? So, let's see, Trevor. California law says renters still have to pay a quarter of their rents in original price. Yes. So, um, that's the other thing too. Yes, you got to know what your local laws are, and if the renters are violating any of those as well. I think it goes back to the don't give them more rope than they need to give. They need to have, and don't let people slide when they can't slide. What? We get my words out here. When you shouldn't let them slide. I mean, that's people are going to take advantage of you if you don't draw a line in the sand. So you have to have a hard line in the sand. And I think it's very important. So very good coaching calls. All topics covered. You can ask any questions. They keep you accountable. That's talking about our Ready Build Scale program and for our Ready group. And I appreciate that feedback. So we're going to make sure you all crush it and knock it out of the park. So Chris, thanks. I'm also thinking of new tenants requiring higher deposits and higher credits. Credit wasn't as big of an issue before, as long as they had the income, but having people that care about credit can be important now. Yeah, being more selective on your tenants, I think is very important, Chris. And you know that, man. So, but I don't, at the same time, it's job stability. How long they've been at their current job, I think is another one. Reference checking is also, I think, something extremely important. A lot of landlords overlook that, checking references, and it's tough. It's tough. I think being able to talk to the last landlord, I think, is very important. Um, Even if it ended on bad terms, just understanding why, all those things. I think that's all good advice. The higher deposits, obviously go a long way and making sure that you have somebody that's credible as well. And yeah, I mean, again, it just goes back to trusting your gut too. I think is a portion of that when you're choosing tenants or choosing the right move. I was talking to somebody the other day that anytime that I didn't trust my gut, it failed. I went wrong. But anytime I did trust my gut, my gut never lets me down. It's something that it's like I've had really bad interviews with people where everything in their interview said, do not hire this person. But my gut said, give them a shot. And they ended up being phenomenal employees. And I've had some fantastic interviews where I just was like, really, really like the person or even the contractor. And something about my gut just said, this isn't right. And I've hired them because of the interview or the conversation was fantastic and it's always went wrong. So just something to kind of throw out there. Trust your gut too. I mean, that's huge. Higher credit scores, higher deposit, but long time job security. But if your gut says something's not right, trust your gut. What gives you the drive to take some extra action? Matt, that's a great question. The What gives me the drive to take so much action? Um, you know, it's funny because it may seem like I do a lot of things, and I guess I do a lot of things, but I don't I don't feel like I do a lot. I think one of the things that drives me, and I think this is the disease a lot of people have in the entrepreneurial space is I don't ever feel like I've arrived. I always feel like there's more to do. I always feel like I got to do that one more thing to accomplish what I want to accomplish, and that's a blessing and a curse. A lot of people that suffer from this disease have I think the problem of kind of breaking everything constantly and never really achieving success. And then there's a lot of us that just never sit back and um, like pat ourselves on the back and take the time to be grateful. I think I'm kind of guilty of that sometimes, where we don't just sit on the beach and say, "Hey, I've arrived and I've done great things." But at the same time, it's a driver to continue to work. The other thing too is I've just learned that I can create something out of thin air. I come up with a name and or an idea and I can make it happen and I just do it. And for a long time, for many years, that wasn't the case. For a long time, for many years, I think I struggled with belief, right? Belief and fear and doubt and 1,000 other things that I struggled with and really battled with. And it kept me from taking action, Matt. And I think a lot of people that are watching this or that will watch this may have some of that same issue. And I think it was just a point where I just made a decision. I always use um my weight, right? I'm almost 100 pounds down. I'm like I think I'm 2:15 this morning. I started at 3:04. I let that get out of control, right? I let that get out of control. My health get out of control. My financial situation get out of control for many years. And it's the same thing. The journey to being wealthy, or to starting a business, or to starting a podcast, or to flipping houses, or anything. It all basically is the same. Um, when it comes to taking action as losing weight, you don't just say, I'm going to go on a diet and the next day you're thin, right? You have to take these steps every day. It's a little success, mini wins. And so you got to start to celebrate those mini wins and those little accomplishments, and measure yourself by the mini wins. And so over, a period of about 18 months or so, almost 2 years actually, all these little mini wins have added up to, what is that? 80, 90 pounds of weight loss, all kinds of mini wins. And it's the same thing with, and I'm going to go down to about 185, just so everybody knows. So I got about 30 pounds to go. I'm still not there yet. But the, the same thing in business, right? You have all these mini wins, and I think that's where people really fail, um, in their journey, is to understand that going out and having a conversation that you're scared to have or never had before is a mini win. Going out and talking to a title company or a real estate agent is a mini wins. Having their first conversation with the seller, those are wins. That's success. And when you start to measure yourself that way, and you say, okay, today I've had this little win, and that little win, and those things start to stack upon each other, you start to see this momentum, and then it becomes easier to take action of the things, because your belief system starts to change. When you measure yourself by some monumental, like, I'm going to hit a home run but I've never swung a bat, and you go out and swing a bat, you don't hit a home run, that's a failure. Okay, but if you look at it, well, I'm going to hit a home run but I never swung a bat, and I go out and swing a bat and I swung the bat today, I may not have hit the home run but I swung the bat, and that's a win. Now tomorrow I'm going to learn how to swing the bat better, right? That perspective changes, and your belief system starts to be there. Okay, now I've swung a bat. Okay, now let me figure out how to stand when I swing a bat. Now let me figure out how my hips need to move when I swing a bat, so that I can properly swing the bat, so I can hit the ball over the fence, and I can hit the home run, so I can have the big win. When you start to do it that way, and your mind starts to change, your momentum starts to change, I think that really gives you perspective, and helps you kind of build that drive you need to be successful, right? And most of us, unfortunately, we lock ourselves in a prison of fear, and we don't do anything about it, and we don't get that momentum. And you need to. And Matt, you're somebody, I'm gonna call you out, buddy. I'm watching you follow me for a long time, and you're doing some good things, but I know you could do a lot more. And I want to see you taking a lot more action. I want you to see you being hungry, and achieving the things that you're setting out to do. So, let's see here. Facebook user, if you're doing a flip with a JV partner and you don't see eye to eye on things, or both people aren't putting in equal effort on things, how do you deal with that? Well, the first thing I would do is I would not get into a JV partnership without a complete understanding of what the rules are. Okay. So, the first aspect is, for instance, I JV'd early on in my business career with people who had money. They put up the money, I did the work. The rules were clear. They were the money. That was it. I was the work. I made all the decisions. I was not going to wait for you to tell me what color the tile was going to be, or the cabinets were going to be. I was not going to have you Monday morning quarterback my work. I was in charge of the project. That was the line in the sand. Period of end of story. So the first thing is, when you get in a partnership, it's who does what and why. So very, very important. And that is something I want to stress. Like, from day one, roles have got to be defined in business. People pussyfoot around business way too much, and they're trying to be nice, they're trying to hurt feelings. Just people, at the end of the day, relationships are destroyed by you being too damn scared to have a real conversation with somebody, and solidifying what the rules are. Do that up front, because that way you don't have the BS on the back end. So that's number one. Number two, if you don't see eye to eye things, sit down and have that hard conversation at that point, and say, all right, look, we're not going to see eye to eye. What are you good at? What am I good at? Who's got what role? Let's just stay in our own lanes and get this project done. That's the priority here. Get the project done and make money and move on. So ultimately, at the end of the day, you got to sit down and at that point have that hard conversation. And then if they're not putting in equal effort, look, Sometimes it's better about just getting the project done than worrying about who deserves what or when or why, right? At the end of the day, it might just be one of those things where you sit down and you say, all right, I'm going to do this and you're going to do that and let's just get it done. And then if we hate each other at the end, we don't ever have to do a deal together again, whatever. Right. So, but if they're not putting in equal effort, then you just know that's not somebody you don't want to partner with again. Your job is to get the thing to the finish line, get it to the goal, and that's it. And then decide at the in the end on whether or not you want to work with the person. If your deal was to split it with them, sit down, have a conversation, and say, hey, what do you think is fair at this point? Because you didn't do any work. They still think 50-50 is fair. Weigh your options. Maybe giving them 50% and moving on, never working with them again is better than fighting them on it. Maybe fighting them on it's better for you. But right now, having clarity of conversation, being real, not being adversarial, not being a jerk, but being real about your feelings and about what needs to be done and about whose lane belongs to who, I think is where you need to be. So let's see here where to go. Matt Smith. Yeah, Matt Smith, you seem to be performance paid, not hourly paid. Bro, I haven't had a paycheck since 2002. It's been 18 years since I've had a job. I have not worked for anybody else in 18 years, and not had a paycheck in 18 years. Everything I do, the only way I eat is performance. I have to produce. And there's been times I starved. Don't get me wrong. I've starved when hungry because I haven't produced. So just so you know. But yeah, I'm performance based. That's I can't. You put me on a clock, and I would rather swallow a bullet. I'm not gonna lie. So, Don, you ever drive in your car and ever just feel like you are the man? I'm not sure who this is, Facebook user, but no, I don't actually. What you look okay, you see half of who I am when I do these things, right? I am the nice guy and I am extremely humble and I keep myself in check for a lot of reasons because the last time I let my head go, I lost everything. But I am also, you screw with me, I'm going to drop a hammer on you. I'm going to tell you like it is. And if I am coaching you, I'm not taking any bullshit. Like I'm just literally going to be like, this is the way it is. This is the law. And you're being a jerk. The reality is no, I don't I don't just drive my car and feel like I'm the man. Um and but it's because I think I just know at this point in time that I could lose it all tomorrow, if I'm not careful. I think ultimately that's where that comes from. So Um, okay, it's Kenneth, by the way. I don't know why it just called me Facebook user. All right, Kenneth. Well, and when I just said that I'll call you out because I had a call you out situation last night, right, buddy? So, um, I'm going to call you on it. And Kenneth is the man, and Kenneth's going to be very, very successful in this business. And I have a lot of tremendous respect for Kenneth because his energy is exceptional. But Kenneth was being a little bit. Of a wimp. That's the right word to use about something that he needs to be doing. And we won't say much about what it is, but and we had a conversation last night about that. And I'm going to kick Kenneth in the butt as hard as I possibly need to make sure that Kenneth wins in this game. So um, let's see, Michael. How do I know if I can trust a contractor as I've gotten all kinds of horror stories? You don't. You don't know until you actually go into business with them. Even the greatest contractors, the greatest people, look, the greatest, most honest people in the world run into issues and, and struggles, and you can have problems with them. So, um, that's why it's important to lay down the law up front. Do your research, do your homework, make sure that you are looking at projects that they completed, look at projects they're working on, make sure that you're not seeing any red flags in those conversations. Make sure they understand and are on board of what you're doing and why you're doing it. Don't give them more than one project. The first project, make sure that you are on top of them and you're watching, you're checking on the progress. Make sure you got some kind of systems and processes in place to hold them accountable through the project and to control the money, because control of the money is the most important thing in the world. And you should have success with the contractor or at least be able to resolve the issue if they're a problem. But you really don't know, how good somebody is or isn't until you've dated them for a while, right? That's just the way it is. And it's the same thing with employees and contractors and everything else. Sometimes the people with the best intention, um, you know, don't always work out. So, Trevor, what type of questions does one ask personal questions about the house? I'm assuming what kind of questions do you ask a person about the house? So obviously, when you're talking to a seller about a property, you want to know the basics: how long they've owned it, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, what size is it? Is there anything with the property that needs to be repaired or done? How much would they like to get for the property? You can ask that 50 different ways. Do you know what property is sold for in your area? Have you got any offers before? How much have they lowballed you? You can start to gauge what the person wants for the property through various questions. And yeah, but really at the end of the day, it's more about what's the problem? Why are they looking to sell? What are they looking to do once they sell? How can I help you accomplish that goal? And if you can start having those conversations with sellers, you're going to go a long way. The basic information that you're asking, obviously going to help you make a decision. But at the end of the day, your goal is to help them make a decision. The more you can get towards that, the better. So hopefully that helps there. Um, let's see here. Dawn is this business, but Dawn is this business about getting in front of as many people slash sellers as possible when starting out. Yeah, I mean, it's it's one of those things. You hear me say all the time. You got to turn a lot of dirt to get the gold. Okay, you have to turn a lot of dirt to get the gold. So you have to be in front of as many potential private money lenders, as many potential contractors, as many potential buyers, as many potential sellers, as many potential whatever, right? As you possibly can. So, but it's not always about doing the most. Okay. I want to be very clear. Like, it's about being more precise. Like, you don't want to just talk to everybody. You don't want to go door knock a neighborhood and talk to everybody who owns a home. You want to start looking for people who have possibly a default issue, notice a default, or the tax default issue where there's some level of distress. You want to, if you're going to mail, maybe you want to mail an equity list of some kind. Like, you want to try to maximize your money generating efforts per se, where you want to try to talk to as many people as you can about selling their home, but you want those people to be people that are going to fit in the box of the possibility. I say this all the time. Marketing is, there's, what's the word I want to use? I'm trying to find the word and it's gone. So let me use another word. It's there's no secret to marketing that's going to give you the exact person who wants to raise their hand when they're going to raise their hand, right? It's random. That's the word I was going to use. Marketing is it's very random to a large degree. So you want to minimize that randomness as much as possible and find the likely pool of people who are going to want to put their hand up. And hopefully somebody in that pool is going to put their hand up. So, I did a deal. I actually closed a deal with the phone on Friday. I was excited. Somebody said, no, my team said, hey, close this for me. And I went and closed it. We skipped it through Skip Force. Skip Force is a phenomenal company, half the price of everybody else. Flipdoc.com/slash Skip Force if you want to check them out. And we threw the data to our cold caller, and our cold caller called it. We submitted the data on the 8th. We got it on the 23rd is when I closed it. And my dispo guy had it sold for a $50,000 assignment fee within 24 hours. The moral of that story is that was an equity list, right? That was an equity list, I believe, not owner occupied equity list. And we skipped the data. So I shrunk that pool. It was like a 40,000 person list, right? But so who's going to put their hand up? I don't know. But this particular guy did on Friday, put his hand up and said, yes, I want to sell and I want to sell now. And I got a problem renter and I want to be out of this thing. And so, it's a matter of, yes, being in front of as many people as you possibly can, have as many conversations as you possibly can, but making sure that you're refining that pool down to likely people who, distress properties that if you're driving for dollars aren't being taken care of. There are a lot of various, things that you're looking for in that to make that happen. So hopefully that helps. And we'll do deeper dives on the coaching calls in our ready group. So, what was your goal of how many doors you would hit when you were door knocking? All of them. So I would pull a list of the pre foreclosures and whatever was there, I would hit them all. I would knock on all the doors. So I'd hit probably about 20 a day. I think getting my car and driving around town was about the average. I'd get my car for about 4 hours and drive. I didn't want to burn myself out and be worthless, but and I'd go at different times. Sometimes I go in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, the weekends. But I would hit them all. Whatever was on that list, I would hit. And it's the same thing now. We just do it differently. We do cold calling and direct mail and text messaging, and we hit them all. And we don't do it any differently because you don't know who's going to put their hand up. Like I said, I didn't do any research to find out who had equity when I was door knocking, though. I didn't waste my time. I just waited till someone put their hand up, and I decided, all right, so I'm going to do this or I'm not. So let's see here, Matt Smith. We need to scale and outsource document things. Yes, you do, buddy, and I can help you with that. So reach out to me. Hey, what's up, Tim? How's it going, buddy? Long time no talk, man. I see you doing big things and crushing the market. I'm proud of you, buddy. So let's see here. Matt Smith. Let's see here. Facebook user. Hey, Don. Okay, Matt. I always find out why, how much, and when they sale. Basically, build rapport in between. Yeah. So I always find out how much they want and when they want to sell. So, and then build rapport in between. And that's, yeah, I mean, that's the idea. Look, the conversations need to be, um, about a lot of different things. Then you're going to talk to different people. Look, some people say just get to the yes or no. And you're going to hear me say build rapport. But in building rapport, I'm listening to, is this worth my time or not? So I'm not directly asking for the yes or no, but I am inadvertently looking at, is this person serious about selling or not in the process of building rapport? And I have a different way of doing it. I wish I could really explain it. We're going to try to document it more here. I'm going to be on the phones more in my office, and we'll be sharing that within some of our groups, more and more, because I don't think about what I do when I do it. I just get on the phone and do it. And then so what I want to do is like get on the phone, close something, or lose, because I do lose. I do fail epically sometimes, and break those calls down, and explain what I did and why and how I did it and so on and so forth. So we'll be doing more of that. Let's see here. Questions. Um, Trevor, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Questions when looking for brokers slash realtors. Does that mean questions to ask them? So that's what I'm gonna go with. So when you're looking to work with them, what do you ask them? I would just reach out to them and I would say, this is who I am and this is what I'm doing. And I'm looking for, to be able to add value to you, and what you're doing. I know that you come across clients that, listings that, may not want people going through their house, or you may have a listing that falls at escrow that needs a quick close. I just want to be that person that serves you and helps you with that. That's how I do it, always from a position of service. So, um, that's when I have these conversations, it's like, how can I help you? How can I serve you? And if you bring it to me, I'll write the offer through you and I'll relist it with you, and I'll try to serve you and your clients best. So that's really how I attack that. Chris, in doing a division of profits for the first time, is it advisable to have your attorney review help with contracts? Um, if you're talking about like a JV on a deal, you can if you're comfortable with that. As long as everything is kind of clear up front and in writing, attorney's not going to do a whole much different. Let me explain something to you about attorneys. Like they're valuable. And I want to be very clear to say that, a family law attorney is not a contract attorney, and a contract attorney may not be a litigation attorney, and a litigation attorney is not a trust attorney, right? A family planning or asset, protection attorney. So you got to find somebody who specializes, and otherwise you're going to pay for them to learn, and that's very expensive. Trust me, I've done it a few times. But the other thing about attorneys is a lot of times they're gonna muddy the waters. So if you are uncomfortable with the situation, or you feel like the person you're going to be doing something with is somebody that you need, that extra step, then I put it in there. But other than that, I think just being very clear about the the goal and whose lane is what and who does what, and putting that in writing um, is going to serve you just as good. So I don't want to say don't get an attorney for that, but what I'm saying is if you don't have the money or it is cost prohibitive, in some way, just make sure you're documenting, what everything is up front. Put it in writing. Um, Division of profits with the homeowner. Same thing, I would say. Make sure that you are documenting. Attorneys make things hard. Okay, that's the attorneys kill deals. Attorneys will tell you no, you can't do a thousand different things. Attorneys make things hard, and so unless you have a really good attorney to work with, I don't want to say no, but I would be careful. Again, if you spell things out, I guess the point is that you can have an attorney write the contract, or you can literally write things out yourself and say, "This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. This is when we're going to do it. This is how we're going to account for it." And as long as it's clear, it's going to have the same outcome. Everybody's either going to agree with the outcome or they're not. If they're not going to agree with the outcome, they could potentially sue you. And regardless if you had an attorney draft the document or you wrote the document, their ability to potentially sue you doesn't change, right? They can still sue you if they disagree with the outcome, even if the attorney wrote the document up front. So I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. If it makes you feel more comfortable and the other party more comfortable, absolutely involve attorney. If you feel like there's something that you need covered or answered or written a certain way, by all means, consult an attorney. Don't feel like an attorney is going to protect you from a bad outcome. They're not. Um, they may protect you in the sense that if you get sued, you have a few more protections, but they're not going to necessarily protect you from being sued. That's just the reality of it. So I have a love hate with attorneys. Some of my best friends are attorneys. Um, but attorneys are deal killers and they can sometimes make things harder than they need to be. Sometimes it's better just to do it and ask for forgiveness later is kind of the way I would look at it. So, that's the way I would tackle it. Had the attorneys now I more use to get me out of stuff. But I do some stuff preemptively as well. So the thing is if you and the homeowner can agree up front, just make sure it's in writing and very clear and concise on who's getting what. Never, whether you're JVing with somebody, doing something with a homeowner, don't have a discussion about something and not put it in writing because people forget or people misinterpret. So make sure it's just clear and in writing. So the answer, Chris, is not a direct answer on that. If you feel better with an attorney, by all means, but I think that I think you're a capable guy and you can write things out with a homeowner, make sure it's written and signed by both parties, and you should be fine. Okay. So let's see here. You don't like my shirt. Why not? Oh. Oh, yeah, okay. Suing cause I don't like your shirt. Got it. Okay, perfect. I was like, "You don't like my shirt? It's just the black shirt. Why don't you like my shirt?" Uh, the uh that's right. They can sue you because they don't like your shirt. They can sue you because the winds are blowing the wrong direction. They can sue you because your nose is too big or you have too much hair on your eyebrows. I mean, literally, it's stupid. And it'll cost you thousands of dollars just to get to the settlement table. It's ridiculous. That's why I kind of reserve attorneys for, when I really need them. So, okay, being completely new at door knocking, is there anything you can tell me, Don, that will give me a confidence boost? I feel like I don't know what to say. Okay, here's something I'm going to share with y'all. I've said it before. I don't know half the crap that's going to come out of my mouth before I say it. Like literally, I sit down for these lives. I don't even plan for them. I don't, and that's served me well. So rule number one, don't overthink it. Just don't. Just go do it. Have a conversation. You don't know. It's like when they design a car or a airplane or a thousand other things. They do a concept right? And then they refine the concept into what it's going to be. And even then, like on a car, for instance, then they release the car to the public and they sell it. But then shit goes wrong and they have recalls, right? They have recalls along the way. They're recalling the cars because they fixed stuff because something in there didn't work the way it was supposed to, right? They're always learning, they're always advancing. It's the same thing with business people. Like that's the one thing you got to wrap your head around is like you don't have to know what to say. Just go talk to somebody, right? Go to the door and knock on the door and have a conversation. That's the first thing I'm going to say to you, is that you just go do it. And it's like you go up to the door and you knock on the door and you, hi, my name's Don. Like, I just came across some information. You're having some issues with your mortgage, and I wanted to see if I can help you find a solution. Or I came across some information. You're having some issues with your mortgage, and I may be able to have an answer for you on how to resolve that. Or I came across some information that you're having some issues with your mortgage, and I just want to see if if you've done anything to resolve that. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? You learn from the outcome, right? And so you run plays over and over and over again in sports and football. You run plays, blocking and tackling, blocking and tackling, blocking and tackling, over and over and over and over and over and over and over for muscle memory. But when you first go out there and do it, you don't know what the hell you're doing. Your very first practice, right? And they teach you the fundamentals, and then you do it over and over again. Well, it's the same thing. You start to learn people's responses. You start to gauge their responses. Some are going to slam the door in your face. Some are going to tell you to F off. Some, I won't say the word. Some are going to, um, some are going to look at you and say, I'm glad you're here. And oh my God, I need help. And some of them are going to make all the excuses in the world. And you start to, as you start to have these conversations and you go back and you Monday morning quarterback yourself, you go, okay, well, that didn't go as well as I thought it should. So maybe I should do X, Y, and Z differently. That didn't go, as well as I thought it should. So maybe I should do this over here. I forgot to ask this question. I forgot to say this, or wow, that went really well. Let me just put that in my arsenal. That's what happens when you do it. Okay. But you have to do it. You're going to screw it up. You're going to F up. You're going to epically fail many, many times. Okay. I will still get on the phone with somebody and I'll get off the phone. I'll be like, oh, I should have said that, or I should have said this, right? Who gives a crap? I get on stage, I do the same thing. I'm like, I should have shared this, but who gives a crap? It's the momentum. You start to build the confidence and in what you're capable of, and the fact that it's not that bad. And that's the important part about taking action that I think is important, that nobody seems to really hear or grasp in this business. And your failure is not going and talking to that person and making a mistake. Your failure is going to be not talking to that person. That's going to be your failure, and, choose your poison. You want to be somebody who just dreams about it, or you want to be somebody who bangs your head against a brick wall till you figure it out. I prefer to be the guy who bangs my head against a brick wall till I figure it out, but that's just me. So I go and have the conversation. Well, the first time I had the conversation with the people and I said, hey, my name's Don and I've come across some information. You're having some issues with your mortgage. I want to see if I can help you out. They said, I got taken care of. And I went, oh crap. Okay, you do. Thank you. Bye. And I set my car and I said, well, how'd that serve any purpose? Right. So then the next time I said, hi, this is Don. I've come across some information. You're having some issues with your mortgage. Can I possibly help you out? And they said, oh, I've got it taken care of. And I said, that's great. I'm still trying to learn here and I'm trying to help people out. So maybe you've done something that I haven't heard of. I'd love to know how have you taken care of it? And they said, oh, well, my grandmother's brother, sister's uncle's baby is going to give me in their diaper $1,000 is going to save my mortgage. And then I was like, oh, so you don't have it figured out. Okay, perfect. You don't say that obviously, but you're in your head, you're thinking that and you go, okay, well, that's fantastic. I'm glad that you're on the path to having this figured out. So sometimes those things don't always work out. Do you mind if I come back and check with you in a week or two just to see how things are going? Right. Or maybe they have it fixed. That's fantastic. Thank you very much for your time. I won't bother you again. Or maybe in the course of the conversation, they're like, hey, I'm trying to do this modification thing, but it does really kind of suck. And yeah, I tell them, yeah, modifications always work out. Have you thought about possibly selling your home if that's not it's something that resolves for you? I mean, the conversation can go 50 different directions, like those books you get when you're a kid and it says pick the A, B, or C, and you pick the path and the ending's different every time, right? It's the same thing. And you learn these things by doing it. I'm telling you right now, you learn these things by doing it. And you're not going to, I could tell you till I'm blue in the face exactly what it's supposed to be. And you are not going to be confident until you do it, until you put yourself out there. And that is just the practical reality. And so Um, just go do it. Just go have the conversation. Screw a bunch of them up. For those of you guys here that ever picked up on a girl, I mean, how many times have you crashed and burned until you got your game? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay. If you do JV wholesale deal with someone and the title company gives one person the whole assignment fee check for 8K, then that investor gives the other investor a check for half the 4K. Does that investor to who sent the check have to send the check one anything for tax? Okay, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm trying to put this together here on here. So yes, okay. So if an investor, essentially the question is if you guys JV on a deal and the title company gives the entire assignment fee to one investor and the other investor gives the B investor half the check, does A investor have to do anything with B investor for taxes? Yes, you should 1099 B investor. That's something your accountant can help you with. So but yes, if you get $8,000 and you pay somebody $4,000, you should be sending them a 1099 at the end of the year for that $4,000 to protect yourself. Otherwise, you're paying on the 8K because you can't prove that was an expense. So, all right, Matt says okay. Chris says thanks. Hi. Let's see. Mental butt kick first. Mental butt kick first. Talking to Don. One of the biggest things that stopped me. So yeah, let's see here. I'm gonna kick you guys in the butt constantly. I love you, Don. I appreciate you. And yeah. So okay. Wow, 46 minutes have flown by, and this has been an amazing day. Great content. Appreciate it, Matt. All right, everybody. I'm gonna wait here and see if you got any more questions. I hope everybody likes the kick in the ass. I'm sorry. That's just I'm gonna have to be doing that more often and just tell people like it is, because you're not gonna get anywhere if I'm gonna kid glove you, and it's just not gonna happen. And it can be kind of a bitch out there. So um Flip Talk Virtual Summit, the 3rd through the 8th. Everybody who's already, I know there's people on here that are part of our Ready program. If you're a part of our Ready program, you will get access to Flip Talk Virtual Summit. Don't try to buy that. You'll have access to that. I want to be very clear. If you are not part of the Ready program, or part of our Inner Circle Elite or part of anything else we're doing, then fliptalkvirtualsummit.com is what you need to go to buy your ticket, get the VIP, because you get the recordings. And that is something we'll knock out of the park. So for you, we're going to bring stuff on how to start to systematize your business, get ready for 2021 and knock that out of the park. And of course, if you want to be part of what we're doing in the Inner Circle Elite, go to beinthisroom.com. Check that out. Let's see here. See, Matt, what's my 90-day bit? Oh, Trevor, what's your 90-day bit? I'm not sure what you mean there by there, buddy. So hit me with that one more time. I apologize. Be a little more clear on that. And got to talk to me about some stuff later. I'm looking forward to it. So Trevor, hit me with that question. What's my 90-day bit? I'm not sure what you mean by that. So, but okay. So Inner Circle Elite, beinthisroom.com. If you are doing deals and you want to be part of a community, you don't have to be doing a ton of deals. I'm telling you, we just want people who want to build a better business. We want the right people. We do interview you. There is an application process. It is an investment. It's not a cheap investment, but we will pour into you. And then of course we got the Flip Talk Virtual Summit. I'm not going to hit you guys over the head. If you're not using Skip Force to skip your properties, half the cost of other data. I literally personally closed a deal that made my company $50,000 assignment fee off of Skip Force data. It is the bomb. fliptalk.com/skipforce. And of course, make sure that you're using PropStream. PropStream 7-day free trial. Go to fliptalk.com/PropStream to get your 7-day free trial with PropStream. That's where we pull a lot of our lists that we skip. And you can do all kinds of really cool stuff there. So with that said, let's see here what we got. Kicking the pants, good coach. Yep. I need to kick in the ass. Let's see here. and I'm glad you're willing to any day of the week. Um, Ready 90-day class, cool bot. Let's see. I'm I'm still not sure what you mean there. Ready 90-day class goal bit. So I'm not sure what you mean there by goal bit, but we have Ready. Ready is we're part of a whole curriculum we're building out called Ready Build Scale. Ready is for people who are brand new or newer and want to start to build momentum and deals. We're laying out the content right now and the create in the course. We're doing 2 a week coaching calls, and our goal, our ultimate goal, is to have everybody in that doing deals. And accomplishing a lot of really good things. Starting to do more deals than they're already doing if they're doing deals. If you're interested and ready, then reach out to me. Reach out to me on Messenger or on Instagram at the real Don Costa, and or on Facebook at Don. Email at donaflecto.com, and I will get you set up with Ready. We'll have a conversation, make sure it's a fit. I'm not sure what you mean by the 90-day goal bit. I apologize when I'm reading. Sometimes it's not always clear to me, but yeah, if you have any questions about Ready or anything else we're doing, anything we have in the works, we're getting ready to launch Build as well. So reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram or, at donaflip.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer that. I will personally talk to you, make sure it's a fit, and so on and so forth. So Facebook user, stupid question. Is a, if this is a stupid question, but does, no problem, Trevor. Brain dead, long day. I get it, man. And maybe we can talk offline and I can clear that up for you. Um, okay, sorry if this is a stupid question, but does it matter what I wear when talking to people while door knocking? That is actually a great question. That's a fantastic one. Does it matter what I wear when door knocking? That is not a stupid question in any way, shape, or form. And the answer is first and foremost, wear what you're comfortable in. Um, wear what you're comfortable in. And that's number one. But here's my train of thought. So um when I first started door knocking, I was blue jeans and like a black polo. Okay, you most of the time you're gonna see me in a black t-shirt or black polo. It's just I'm kind of a black shirt guy. Everybody's on my case about it, but that's what it is. But I would go door knock, and people were really receptive. I was very casual, right? Then I started making money. I started wearing slacks and a dress shirt and a tie, or slacks and a dress shirt, and I door knock, and people were a little bit more standoffish. What I noticed is most average people sitting at home during their day are very casual. They're in shorts and a t-shirt, or jeans and a t-shirt, or dress, or something. And the more I think approachable you stay, the more comfortable they're going to feel talking to you. If you come to the door looking like a door-to-door salesperson selling encyclopedias, they're probably going to be a lot more standoffish than if you're coming in somewhat casual jeans and a polo type of situation, right? So that's my thought on it. I just, trying to stay as approachable as I possibly can, disarming. If you're 6 foot tall, being tall, could be a disadvantage, you know. Um, if you have a loud booming voice, that could be a show of strength, or it could be a disadvantage, right? So you got to kind of play that through in your head and say, okay, what are some of the things I can soften these things? Don't stand at the door with your hands in your pocket. Don't pace. Be just very disarming. I had a buddy that I would door knock with early on, and he was a Hispanic gentleman, 6 foot something, high energy, thick accent. He'd go knock on the door. He'd bang on the door with his keys, and he'd pace back and forth with his hands in his pocket. And I'm like, bro, like you're a 6 foot tall dude, and you're pacing, and your energy is just because he had this high energy. I'm like that. If somebody peeking from the door, that's scary. Like, and once I kind of coached him on, okay, knock gently, stand there, don't have your hands in your pocket, be just be, cool. He had a lot of success at the door. So, I have a very soft voice. We don't hear it on the mic. I have a very, 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 very soft voice. And so that's disarming to people, right? On the mic, it doesn't sound that way, but when you talk to me in person, everybody's like, huh, huh, huh. That's disarming. So I'm 5'8". I've always looked younger than I actually am. and I have a very soft voice, and so that's worked in my advantage. So, look at, is your voice booming? Are you a super tall person? Are there things that could come off as um threatening is not really the word, but just you know, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, are there things that are gonna come on that are gonna give people pause to, is this somebody that's gonna try to sell me something, or is this somebody that's going to that I wanna have a conversation with, I guess is the way to put it. So, be somebody that somebody's gonna wanna open the door to, and have a conversation with. And, it doesn't matter, none of it matters if you are, um just presenting yourself energy wise and, you know, as far as that goes, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. What really matters at the end of the day is, can you make them feel comfortable enough to just talk to you and open up to you? And so a shirt and a tie may not be that, but if that's where you're more comfortable, more confident, it may be, right? If you are tall with a booming voice, if you can frame that in a way that is confident and not scary, then people are going to be more apt to have a conversation with you, right? So the fact that I have a low voice, sometimes people think I'm mumbling or trying to hide something. So I got to be more conscious about speaking up, right? It causes people to trust me more, but I got to be more conscious of speaking up. So I hope that helps. Probably more information than you needed when it comes to having that conversation. But you're comfortable with pajamas. That's perfect. So the just making sure that you're presenting yourself in an empathetic way when talking to people, that you're not a bully, that you're not confrontational. All those things come into play, right? It's think of yourself like on this psychologist couch, like you're going to sit there and you want them to open up, and so you want to present yourself in that way. So let's see here. How do you get over limiting beliefs? Matt, you join ready and you get on the coaching calls and you let me kick you in the butt once a week. That's how you get over your limiting beliefs. Uh, that's it's tongue in cheek, but no, I mean, bro, here's the thing. Kenny, Matt, Trevor, Chris. I have limiting beliefs every freaking day. Okay. The difference is I don't necessarily listen to them, or I try to prove them. I don't know what I do differently. I'm not going to completely say that I'm perfect in any way, shape, or form, but every day there's doubt in my head. And we're human beings. We all have it. How do you get over it? You just take action. You do it. Every time I do something that my mind tells me I can't do, it's like, holy crap. Like, you know, that's wrong. Now there's another limiting belief to deal with, right? I'm trying to build something different than I've ever built before. And there is doubt in my head every single freaking day. So Matt, I guess my message to you is they're never going to go away. They're always going to be there in some aspect. Kenny, that fear is always going to be there in some aspect, but you got to choose your poison, right? You got to choose your poison. Like, am I going to be scared of knocking on the door and talking to a seller, or scared of having that next level of success? Or should I be scared of having regret on my deathbed? Like, what's scarier? Laying on your deathbed, getting ready to take your last breath and saying, why did I not have the strength to have the life I deserve to have? Why did I not have the friggin' balls to have the life I deserve to have? Like, what's scarier? For me, it's the regret. That's scarier for me. And so when that limiting belief comes in, I'm like, bro, you shouldn't be doing this. Like, you shouldn't be, doing a podcast, or you shouldn't be doing like all these things that I just put myself in that position. Like, the day I die and I'm looking at my sons in the eye and my daughter in the eye, and I'm wishing them to have the best life possible. Did I live the best life possible? And if I can't answer that with, at least I tried my damn hardest, then I'm an epic failure, and I don't want to be an epic failure. And that's scarier to me than some asshole at a door telling me no, or being a jerk or whatever. Like, I'm going to go talk to that person, because that's a hell of a lot less scary. So hopefully that helps, Matt. But the real answer is join the ready program. I got your back there, buddy. Okay, let's see here. It helps. Okay, yeah, Kenny, I know you're the one asking all the door knocking stuff. Of course, I know that. Let's see here. Um, I'm gonna pretend to pronounce your sister's name properly. I'm sorry. I know Michael had that perfectly on the thing. I can't do it. Thank you, Don, for your time. You're always sharing great content. You'll help inspire people and give them hope that they can build a great business. So you guys got this. Um, and I know that you guys can build a great business. And I got Kenny's back on this. He's gonna be sitting up here with me one day telling his story, and I know that you'll be right there with him. So I appreciate you both and look forward to your success. So and Matt, yeah, perfect fire in the point. So I think we're good. I think we are good. I'm about ready to lose my voice. I'm trying not to cough here. It's 3 o'clock, and my cell phone's been blowing up with text messages. So I got work to do, people. If you want if you want access, people ask, what do you get with some of the things you're doing? You get access, like you get me. Kenny had me on Messenger with him at 9 o'clock last night. You get me, and I'm damn well determined to make sure that you get out of your head and you get where you need to go, and that you are successful. So if you want that, reach out to me, and I'll figure out where you belong. Message me on Facebook, Don Costa, message me on Instagram at the real Don Costa, or email me at donaflip.com, and we will get you where you need to go. So, with that said, people, thank you for being on. And to our Ready members, I appreciate you. I got the coaching call with you tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and bring your questions, and we're going to knock it out of the park. So, and that's what I got. Until I talk to you again, have a wonderful day.